Hello, and thank you for joining me yet again. The need for this video we felt was because we have this feeling that businesses are going to be processing payroll during the stand down time, not understanding that certain things are critical to be processed in certain ways during the stand down time. For two reasons, whilst on stand down, whether partial or full, during COVID-19, employees service continues with you. Therefore, their annual leave and personal leave also continue to accrue while they're on stand down. Also, if public holiday falls on a day that they usually would work in a normal scenario, they are entitled to that public holiday day as well. So the way that stand down time is processed is not quite how we would think most clients would think that it should be processed, and Xero is working on an more automated way to do this. But in the meantime, because they know that businesses are currently having to process payrolls with stand down time, given us a workaround to make that happen so that leave does accrue appropriately. Now, I will also say that we will be doing another video on how to process the JobKeeper payment through payroll. There will be situations in a lot of cases where you will need to have a payroll line item for the JobKeeper payment, stand down time, and if the employee has actually done some work, they're paid for normal ordinary hours. So it could be that you could have all three items in a particular pay run across this period for employees. So we suggest that once you become, or if and when you become eligible for the JobKeeper payment, that you not only watch this video, but you also watch the video on how to process JobKeeper time or JobKeeper payment. So I'm going to share my screen now to take you through the Xero setup for the workaround at present. Okay, so the first thing, this is the demo file for Xero, and I'm hoping it's going to play along nicely with me today. I've already recorded this 3 times prior and hit hiccups, so we're hoping this one goes smoothly. So first of all, we're going into settings, into payroll settings. We need to create a new payroll item. We need to go into pay items, earnings, and add a new ordinary times earning payroll item. I'm going to call this stand down time. I'm going to put COVID after it. I'm going to copy that to the next line item as well. The rate type is multiple of employees or ordinary earnings rate. Set the multiple to be 0. Select the expense account to be wherever you normally allocate your wages and salaries. So I'm selecting wages and salaries in this situation. It's not going to matter because no dollar value for stand down time actually hits your financial statements, but you must select an account there to move forward. And all we need to do here is to click the accrue leave for this earnings rate and add. So we've set the payroll item up. We need to then go into the relevant employees and do 2 things that are going to make our payroll a little easier moving forward. So I've chosen Adet Garrison for this example. We want to go into her employment tab, and we want to select the holiday group that relates to her. So in this case, she lives in New South Wales, and we want to tick include holidays in pay slips. Now this will help you with the fact that whilst on stand down time, if a public holiday falls when that employee would have worked prior to stand down, at this stage, we believe they're entitled to be paid that public holiday. So by doing that step, it will help you in processing the payroll. So we're going to click Save. And then we go into Adet's pay template, and we add an earnings line and select the stand down time pay item that we've created and click Save. Now let's go and process a pay run for Adet. So we'll delete the one that's already in draft because we can only have one on the go at a time. We'll add a pay run. I'm going to select the weekly calendar because that's the pay cycle that a debt is on. And here's a debt coming up in the pay run. So we're going to open up the debts pay. Okay, so now we have to consider what has happened with a debt in that week. Has she not worked at all? So let's go with that scenario first. We'd put 0 in her ordinary hours, and say before stand down she worked a full 38-hour week. We would put 0 in ordinary hours and 38 hours in stand down time. You can see that there's no pay because it's unpaid stand down time. But down in annual leave, and that's clearly not set up in the leave area correctly, but it will, in a proper setup, have here annual leave and sick leave at the appropriate accrual. And I'm not going to go into the process here of how we check that Xero has been set up correctly to accrue the appropriate leave, but on a 38-hour employee, that leave should be around the 2.9 mark. So 38 hours in stand down, 0 in ordinary if they're on full stand down. Let's go with the example of where they actually have performed 20 hours worth of work this week and have been on 18 hours stand down. In that scenario, we'd put 20 hours in ordinary time so that an actual pay run calculates, some paid wages calculate for a debt, and then the balance of up to her normal standard hours prior to stand down to make up the difference to total the 38 hours she normally works. And again, then that calculates her leave. And again, not correct. Clearly there's an issue in the background of the setup of this demo file, and I'm not going to go into that now. So that is how we process stand down time. As mentioned, if we're also in the scenario of having to top this person up with a JobKeeper payment to bring their JobKeeper or gross up to the $7.50 a week gross wage for JobKeeper, we would then have to add in here a JobKeeper component. So needing, in this situation, the 3 particular items to, 1, process the pay correctly, calculate the correct tax, accrue the correct leave, and also recording both stand down time and the JobKeeper payment in the correct fashion as per Xero's guidelines to ensure that the appropriate things that need to happen and the appropriate information for single touch payroll purposes flows through to the ATO. So we hope that has been helpful for you. We will also be posting up, as I said, a video on how to process the JobKeeper payment, in addition also to a video that will be a little bit longer covering the JobKeeper payment in detail. So thank you for watching. We hope that this has been helpful to you, and apologies for the little glitch in the Xero demo file in respect to accrued leave calculation, but doing the pay, as we said, with the appropriate leave accrual set up in your Xero file will give you the correct answer in that scenario. Thank you.